Alright, hello. We have finally arrived. There was a small piece of me that hoped that it might not be this era, because technically if it wasn't this era, then it meant that an Andor GL was likely, but alas. It is what it is. I'm, of course, very happy with this. Let's see what we're getting here. I have hopes, man. Like, there are more than any others. I feel like I have some strong feelings ideas for what these characters could look like. We'll see if I am close to the mark. Alright. Hello. Shall we dig in? Also, are there 2 posts? I have the one. Era of Andor kit reveals. Is there... Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, there's 3. This is... Get comfy. This is gonna be... A lot. Okay, there's a K2 assumedly light side, but it's red. Is he dark side? Or is it not, like, post-conversion, because K2SO is already technically in? Era of Andor information. Okay, that is also a lot. Alright. Welcome to the Era of Andor, where the sparks of rebellion ignite the fires of freedom. For all information on the Era of Andor, head over to this post. Now for the kits. Who is in? Who made the cut? Clea, of course. Conquest for Clea was a funny joke, but I did not think she would actually be a Conquest class character. Although, arguably, mechanically, I think you maybe could, but we'll see. Right, I feel like you got mechanics for, like, she could start off as, like, a Hermit Yoda character where she's, like, untargetable, and then, like, has, like, some disguise flip mechanic where she goes loud, becomes, like, some crazy attacker. There was sauce. Sauce-wise, I think a Conquest Clay would be fun, but this is pretty likely, right? This is all jokes aside. Wait, Sense of... Show me. I did not... Sense is so fucking cool, man. She is literally just, like, fucking Agent 47 of that shit. Oh my god. Dude. Is she Rebel Fighter? I mean, she has to be, right? Fellow Rebel Fighters? Dude. Holy fuck, since I made it in. Okay. She really had not that big of a big part in this show, but anytime you saw her, you were like, oh fuck. She was just hard as shit. Boys, alright now, please. You can have that. Nothing else. Did Velarin, interesting. Dedra, Partagas, Cassian, Undercarver, KX Force, Droid Marquis. So yeah, that is... I was wondering if there was going to be like an updated K2, but it appears not. That is pre-conversion. Alright, so 3 Empire, 4 Rebel Fighter, I assume is a split? But what does that mean for, Luthen? Or Saw? Huh. I guess we'll have to see. All kids have their art approved. I mean, we'll see what's... Yeah. This is like a refresh as you go sort of situation. Alright, we gotta do Clea first, right? I always kind of liked her in the show, but obviously late season 2 is where she, like, really blew the fuck up. It was like, okay, this is just the coolest character in the show, I think. She was always mysterious, but I think the full information really worked well. Alright, special 2... Alright, 1 unique. Final text. Clea has 50% potency and 30% crit chance. Is this cut off slightly? I guess a little bit. I'll have to be careful. Whenever an undermined enemy inflicts Clea with a debuff, she dispels all debuffs on herself and reduces her cooldowns by 1. Whenever an undermined enemy. Perhaps they become undermined when, shall we say, some slap charges go off. She dispels all debuffs on herself and reduces her cooldowns by 1. Eyes with keen stratagem. That's the Drogon. Have 25% accuracy and they ignore taunt. We are midi Leia, midi Drogon territory right now. Whenever Luthen uses a special. So that's a Luthen call out. So is this like without Saw? Is she a lead? No, she didn't have a lead. Is Cassian a lead? Whenever Luthen uses a special, inflict the target enemy with Undermine for 1 turn. Kleia gains 10% TM whenever a Rebel Fighter ally is damaged once per turn, 20% if it's Luthen. Does that apply to Solid? Because I don't think Solid is lose, right? I think it's actually remove. Or, like, actually take damage. It's somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Is it on his unique? It might be. No, I don't think it's on his unique. Oh, it is lose. Okay, so that, based on what we know, lose doesn't count as damage, right? It's the same way that, like, Echo can remove the full value for percent health resistant characters. It's not damage. It's just a written rule. Okay, fair enough. All right. I mean, are there that many ways to damage allies? Like, BT1 EP laugh, but within Rebel Fighters, I don't think so. Not that I can remember. While Luthen is active, Kleia can't be targeted. Hey. And has 100% evasion. Hey. This sounds like I was in the lose ballpark thematically. Cassian Andor undercover is active and Luthen was not at the start of battle. Kleia gains the same benefits. Interesting distinction. Wait, are they doing like a you do Luthen to one and Cassian to the other type deal? Not together? The first time Luthen Rail's health is reduced to 25% or less, he gains damage to me for 1 turn and Kleia takes a bonus turn. I think they're possibly headed in the direction that I am. She kills him. While in 3v3, really? A new 3v3 Omicron. At the start of battle, if there are no GL allies, and if the ally in the leader slot is Saw or Mon. So we have calls to Luthen, Cassian, Saw, and Mon. They're doing some shit here. I get okay. I get the feeling that this is a lift to both Saw and Mon Mothma, and you're going to be like toolkitting. I honestly, going into this era, I kind of just expected Mon Mothma to be an afterthought. I was just like, yeah, Saw gets a huge boost, but interesting. A little bit more flexible play. If the ally in the leader slot is Saw or Mon, Kleia gains bonuses based on the leader. The leader is Saw, Kleia gains Axis, she gains Curator for Mon. Okay, same flavor. If loses an ally, Kleia can't be defeated until his health is reduced to 25% or less. The first time Luthen's rail is reduced to 25% or less, resets the cooldowns of her special. This is do or die. Axis, whenever Kleia uses I Know What I Want, inflict buff immunity for target enemy for 1 turn. Is she a support? That matters for Saw. I don't know that we have the tags. It's fine. But yeah, I think it's supports get turn meter and cooldown reduction under Saw. Flip buff immunity target immunity for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled. Locked buff immunity. Okay. All allies get evasion up for 2 turns. Curator, whenever Kleia uses this is do or die. Rally Mon Mothma on all Rebel Fighter allies. Mon Mothma has so much fucking action economy, man. Now. There's going to be some shit to have to figure out there. Almost certainly, right? Like, this is... Rebel fighters are becoming extremely onga-bunga at this point. Under Mon Mothma. All allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Mon Mothma and all other Rebel Fighter allies gain 50% off in stacking and are immune to team reduction for 2 turns. Whenever she uses do or die, become immune to team reduction for 2 turns. An ally already has Keen Stratagem. Grant Keen Stratagem to all other Rebel Fighter allies until the end of encounter. So is it like a Drogon pairing? Whenever she uses Do or Die, one person who gets Keen Stratagem gets spread to everyone. So that's not just like... Or is it? Is Do or Die Keen Strat... Target ally? Okay, no, so it is. So Do or Die, normally we give it to one, but that's just text saying give it to all. Okay. So the CG... like, if this ended up with CG saying, yeah, dude, you're pulling Drogon out of Leia, I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, look, it would have lined up with Stormtrooper Luke being released, possibly, but still. That would have been a crazy takeaway from this. Don't have Leia as always. Yep. Reflects her masterful management of the many spinning plates it took. Yeah, dude. Her being untargetable, and then I assume there's going to be some amount of her being like a good damage dealer later. Special one, I know what I want. Yep, she's got the board. Inflict undermine on target me for one turn, which can't be dispelled. Call Luthen and another random Rebel Fighter ally to assist. It's random is a little bit tough. Maybe at 3v3, it's a 50-50 between like a Saw assist call or the guy who does a billion damage. So the variance between your high roll and your low roll is like shockingly large. Like the assist guy I have doing like 300,000 damage a pop right now, and Saw's might as well not do anything. But I mean, still being able to call him to assist, that shit does not hurt. How much does Luthen do on turn versus out of turn? Is a fair question, because his basic is actually quite good. I think the defense shred... Okay. Inflict healing immunity. Okay, during his turn, a lot of this stuff... Yeah, during his turn, he gains speed, and the target enemy has a defense reduced. Yeah, so the assist call gives you healing immunity, which is still good value, but a lot of the, like, crazy stuff still has to be on turn. Which happens a lot under a Saw lead, still, to be fair, but... this does not have to be during turn, so that's decent value. I mean, my Mothma was already, or like the summon already dispelled, I think, if I recall right. So that's kind of redundant, but redundancy is not always a bad thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have barely played Saw with Mon Mothma. I completely forgot this text existed. Very, very interesting. I mean, given what we know now, I still have questions over, like, if you have Mon Mothma and Luthen in the same team, I don't know whose stats transfer over. Like, does it come from Mon Mothma or from Saw? I wonder if there's a Q&A maybe I could ask me. Undermine? Plus 25 speed, minus 25% crit avoidance, and crit chance. Can't game bonus TM. Giving the enemy 25 speed is a little bit spicy for my taste, but can't gain TM, I guess, is the trade-off. Yeah, can't be dispelled. Journey Guide Cassian. If enemies are already undermined from Cassian's get this ability for their capitalizes. Where does it... Oh, from the... Probably from down here. I think we technically read it, just... I mean this, but that wasn't really... I don't know where it's talking about the setup and payoff. Or was it from this? Oh, it's from this. I'm fucking stupid. Wait, am I? Yeah, it says this ability. I don't see... I don't really see a payoff for them already having it, but maybe I'm missing something. This is Do or Die. Maybe it's the other ability that's being referred to. This is do or die. Yep. Slap charges. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict burning for 1 turn. Dispellable. Remove 50% TM from undermined enemies and increase their cooldowns by 1. That sounds a weird amount, like the Saw Gerrera opener. Almost as if she is setting off a bomb. Target ally gains keen stratagem, but this is every 4 turns, right? This isn't just the first time you use it. This is target ally gains keen stratagem for the rest of the encounter. If target ally is Luthen Rail and he has 25% health or less, defeat him and he can't be revived. I figured it was either going to be this or I thought it was going to be interesting. I had the idea. This is like probably way too niche, but I was like, what if they did a thing where if he is dead and can't be revived, you get a bonus? All right, it's like an anti-revive block thing. Because we haven't seen that in Galaxy Heroes yet. Anyway, it's not relevant here. Moving on. Revive all Rebel Fighter allies with 100% health. Interesting. Inflict ability block on all enemies. So, that is very defense team coded. I have always been waiting for a character to do this in Galaxy Heroes. Literally, as the ability says, this is do or die. Of like, this is you are going down swinging coded. This is I'm playing for keeps. Yeah, this is solid set play. Revive all with 100% health, inflict ability block on all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or... Oh my fucking god. All Rebel Fighter allies gain Rebel Network for the rest of the encounter, eh? Okay. Dude, like, I'm not even saying I'm insane for, like, predicting this stuff. If anything, like, the character just had so much sauce, it was like, how could you not end up making a kit like this? But yeah, fucking, the only thing we're missing is, like, some insane snapshot instant kill. Rebel Network, 30% crit chance, 30 speed, and immune to healing immunity. When this character is defeated, revive with 100%. Dude, they have already sealed their fate. You will be bringing revive prevention against this team. There is no way out. It's not one way out. They're fucking... Whenever this character defeats an enemy, dispel debuffs on this character, and all allies recover 100% health and protection. Clea, we're on Clea. She's the first. Unironically, we could stop right now, and I would be satisfied for the day. I would be like, yep. I'm gonna fucking overdose, man. It's so much. Does she? Okay. The big question, does she self-cleanse? Because there's some shit about, like, when Luthen is about to die, she, like, takes a bonus turn, right? First time Luthen Rail's health is reduced to 25% or less. Clear resets the cooldown for special. This is do or die. Where's the bonus turn? First time Luthen's health is reduced to 25% or less, he gains damage made for 1 turn, and Clay takes a bonus turn. Okay, so there's something very interesting happening here, which is the summon does not get much health, right? The summon inherits the health, but then reduces it by 75%. So in all of the God tier Luthen builds I've been working on, protection was the natural choice. If you want to build around the power of the summon. This is broadening the market for Luthen's mods. Because if you go full protection, you are narrowing the window on Luthen being able to capitalize on this. And this is something you are not going to want to miss out on, right? Fucking A, man. This is not disappointing. This is the sauce that I was hoping to see. God, what a fucking ability. Holy. Does this start on cooldown? I don't think it does it? You just... this is like the same feeling that I'm getting from like JML Gas, where it's just like... fucking start dancing, asshole, and you just repeatedly increase their cooldowns. Goddamn. I can feel it in my bones already. She is going to be a support with like 20% base crit chance, and this is going to be the like 8th time in 2 or 3 years where I will be banging the drum about like, hey, if you just give her 50% crit chance, then you get the other 30% for free. And she's actually a really good damage dealer, you guys, and nobody's gonna do it, and then I'm gonna get to fucking ball out on stream. And it will be for me and me only, and no one else will care. And that's okay. I have accepted this future, and I'm having fun with it. Giving one shot to use the sacrifice mechanic. Yep. I assume if you can one shot Luthen from above 25%, then you effectively defuse that, though. Alright. They did it. What's the basic? Deal physical damage to target enemy. If Luthen Rail is an ally at the start of battle, this attack can't be evaded. If all allies are rebel fighters, this attack will always be a critical hit if able and deals 150% critical damage. Guys. Also, technically, they get minus 20% crit avoid, so she's possibly looking at 55% crit avoid, so you would need like something. She's like a 20 starting Andy, although she is physical damage, so she may not be like 20 special, but she still might have pretty low base. But like 55 plus 20, you'd have to do like 25, 35, maybe 45 in mods. 150 damage of a critical variety. Whenever an ally uses a special ability during their turn, they call themselves to assist, doing 150 critical damage. That's a pretty good thing to be doing, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, alright. I know what I want, goddammit, me too. Oh, well. She is a TB Omicron character with multiple TB Omicrons. Close enough. Welcome back, Jedi Cal. The start of the encounter, if all allies were rebel fighters, Vel gains a stack of resilient defense. She's a tank? Possibly? And 2 additional stacks if Cinta is an ally. Is she a tank? I guess we do not know, so this will be interpretive. I will try F5. She synergizes heavily with Cassian, Cinta, Clea, Luthen. Like, no... What is happening here? I gotta know. They wanted to reflect that with having Cassian lead a new team of rebel fighters. So that's why it's a 3v3 Omicron, because they are flushing. So Cassian is a lead. Wait, no. Okay, I thought that there was a strong argument that Cassian might not have a lead, that he might just be like a unique that acted as a second lead or some crazy shit. Okay, he is a lead. So yeah, so 5v5, possibly Cassian is a new team. 3v3, Rebel Fighter, Toolbox Insanity. Is that the direction? Not too spoiler by looking ahead. Yeah, Clea was basically like literally bar for bar everything that I was hoping to see in her. I was a character like that and a couple episodes like that. Like, what the fuck else could she have done? It had to be this way. Good shit. All right, man. Vel the girl failure. Poor Vel. Yeah, so we don't know if she's a tank. She has resilient defense, which, as I recall, is the mace taunt. I think. I guess, since we aren't sure what she is, just to be sure that I'm not operating on false assumptions. Control F resilience, yes, it's the mace taunt. Okay, so at the start of the encounter, if all eyes are rebel fighters, you get a pre-taunt for 3 hits. Or for 3 instances of damage is technically correct. At the start of her turn, rebel fighter allies get 8% of her crit chance, crit damage, defense spin, and offense for 1 turn. That is a fucking crazy shadow, because she's related to Mon Mothma, so it's like partial flavor of Mon Mothma lead. Vel gains 50% offense per undermined enemy until the start of her next turn. So she gains offense, but probably after she shares stats, right? Why? We should check that in the code, though. While Vel has resilient defense, she has 100% crit avoidance, counter chance, and defense. Undermined enemies deal 10% less damage. So that is already the TB Omicron. So that is it, but that is short, but pretty sweet. She does not waste words. It's TB Omicrons. Do not spend your Omicrons on TB Omicrons. Unique ability 2, She Was a Miracle. Vel has 35% accuracy. Whenever Cinta or Vel are attacked by an undermined enemy, Vel gains a stack of resilient defense for 2 turns. Whenever you're attacked by an undermined enemy, you lose resilient, but you regain it? That is the first resilient defense tank that didn't make me a little bit wary about them having resilient defense over taunt. Now, technically, this is still like if you have like a 4-hit basic or whatever, right? You can still kind of game the system here because this is counting per attack, so you can do more stack removal than they get back. But I don't think you have to have resilient defense either. They just have to have undermined. So that is, we aren't at like locked, undispellable, unpreventable level tank status, but she is in the game. Interesting. Whenever an undermined enemy attacks Cinta, she recovers 10% protection and Vel gains 10% TM. Okay. Whenever Vel uses a basic ability on an undermined enemy, Cinta assists. That works out of turn? Apparently. I have a question. Hey, guys. So you use her in Mon Mothma, this just procs constantly. You use her in Saw Gerrera, anytime she takes a turn, you just get a Cinta follow-up. Guys? Whenever an enemy attacks Cinta at the start of Vel's turn, that enemy is exposed until the end of the turn. Start of her turn, if all enemies are undermined, Rebel Fighter allies gain 50% protection up. For 1 turn. And Vel gains Deflective Ward for 1 turn. That's the Ahsoka ult. Plus Jocasta buff. Deflective Ward's annoying, man. Deflective Ward, when it comes up at the right time, I have lost a match to Deflective Ward before because it just blocked my C AoE and I had no one else to pop it with. It's a niche, but when it hits, holy fuck. First time Vel falls below 50% health. She and Cinta reset their cooldowns and equalize their health and protection. That is a cute call to the fact that she was very fucking selfish in the relationship and Cinta just did not care that. Yeah, no, Cinta did. She wasn't fucking happy. Vel was, it was a one-way relationship a lot of the time. Yeah, that's fair. Good flavor. Representing how they support each other in dire moments? Yes, but also. Alright, ask us to come here later, and I will give it 1 refresh just to see. Unfortunate. Since the cause was a cold and fearless assassin. Fucking yeah. There was a point in time where it was not immediately clear unless you were paying attention on whether or not she murdered women and children. It was like, no, if you go back and look, technically no. But the character was just that motherfucker enough that you could believe it. Fueled by the trauma of losing her family to Imperial Stormtroopers, she views herself as a weapon rather than a person. Plays as a ruthless, deep cover assassin. Fucking yeah, she does. Fire up a solo battle. Good evening, Agent 47. Pinter prioritizes the cause of her romantic relationships while her life. Yeah, that's. Cinta is a stealthy attacker who will team up with her fellow rebel fighters Cassian Andor, Luthen, Clea, and Vel. Alright. Disguised Clone Trooper tries to play in this archetype. CG, I'm sorry to say, Disguised Clone Trooper is the least disguised. That motherfucker cannot stay alive to save his life. That man is not disguised. He is somehow the squad's tech because that motherfucker always dies first. Please let this woman be disguised in parentheses actually. Alright. What we got? Oh, okay. She's working with some beef. But it's almost all TW. That's insane. She got 2? No, she does not. I mean, Rebel Fighters don't really have a presence in TW, right? So that might be trying to, like, build something out from scratch. Blooded, Fearless Warrior, Zeta Omicron, whatever Rebel Fighter ally uses a special ability against an undermined enemy, Cinta assists. She is going to be assisting a lot then, I would think. Whenever Cinta uses the ability while stealth on her turn, expose the target enemy for 2 turns. Okay. Has to be on her turn. We're not talking Rebel expose, attack on a turn, crazy shit. Whenever Cinta attacks at a turn while stealth, her attacks have a plus 100% crit chance, plus 50% crit damage, and plus 50% death pen. We will see what type of attacker she is. I think we want her to be a strength attacker, right? To maximize the death pen and the crit chance usage. Plus, they actually have, like, better relic scaling a lot of the time. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally is damaged by an undermined enemy, reduce the cooldown on fight to the death by 1 once per turn. Whenever an undermined enemy inflicts a debuff on a Rebel Fighter ally, Cinta gains speed up for 1 turn. That is it for the normal unique. In TW, she pre-stealths for 1 turn. She has 100% defense and max health. Whenever enemy is damaged, Cinta while she is stealth, they are undermined. If they are already undermined, inflict healing immunity for 1 turn, which can't be disabled or resisted. Rebel Fighter allies have 100% death pen. While attacking enemies affected by Cinta's debuffs from fight to the death. That is very specific. Whenever a death-marked enemy is defeated, all Rebel Fighter allies recover 100% health and protection, gain 10 speed, and she gains 100% CD for the rest of the battle. Rebel Fighter allies gain 10% offense stacking for each undermined enemy. All enemies are undermined, Rebel Fighter allies are immune to instant defeat and max health production effects. Whenever an enemy uses a special ability, Cinta gains 50% TM, doubled if they are undermined. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally loses VIP, that motherfucker. Oh yeah. Again, it's not even like. It's not that crazy of a call to make. It's just like, it has to be this, right? It has to be like, make them VIP or lead or whatever the fuck. It had to be this way. How could you not? But this sounds different because they are not permanent. Or unless this is just a way of saying when the VIP dies. Or I guess it technically could be both. Dispel all debuffs from all Rebel Fighter allies and grant all Rebel Fighter allies 25% TM. Alright. I feel like I don't have a big picture to have a read on if this is good in TW or not. TW also, of course, has its predominant issues, and I don't know how close we are to our 11th GL, but as the 11th GL comes, it will be even harder for new TW characters to, like, actually get a chance to play. Although that's the fucking crazy part, right? That we will have to, when all the dust settles, like, you settle the dust on everything normal, and then you always have to ask the question of, like, okay, but what does this look like for Leia? Like, is this anything for Leia Organa of Alderaan, in parentheses, Galactic Legend? We will have to see. Because so far, I don't really remember seeing that many mentions of if there are no GLs present. Just interesting. Unique 2, you're the only reason I'm here. Whenever Cinta damages an enemy, Cinta and Vel recover health and protection. Hey, banner efficiency. Doubled if that enemy is undermined, and Vel gains a stack of resilient defense. Okay, Vel, very present tank. Pretty. I would have to re-familiarize with how many dispels that we have, because I know we saw some. But Vel, if there isn't a lot of dispels active, I think Vel Tenacity leaning is definitely possible. Also, somehow this probably might mean that I'm R10ing Vel, which is not what I had on my bingo card for 2026. Alright. Fuck, man. Sure, I guess. Locked active whenever Cinta has herself dispelled. Cinta stealths. And gains 100% offense. So you are in a position. This is the fucking anti-DCT. Thank you. Fucking thank you. Give this shit to DCT right now, poor Flavor. Like, just do it. It'll break the meta. I don't give a fuck. I just want that character to not die first in Conquest every single time. Alright. Cinta gains 10% TM once per turn whenever a Rebel Fighter ally is damaged by a debuffed enemy, an additional 10% if that ally is Vel. Again, the action economy here is fucking crazy. Alright. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally damages a debuffed enemy out of turn, Cinta dispels all debuffs on herself. If that enemy is undermined, dispel all debuffs on Vel. Well, speaking of, does she need tenacity? Perhaps not. Interesting. This is like kind of a modern Mission Zalbar almost. Interesting. So we're set this off as a reply to, well, you're the only reason I'm here. There is a possible read on that character that she is a plant by Luthen and that she does not care at all, and that was a line to just like diffuse the situation. Get the whatever. We don't have to talk about that. One special ability, one special fight to the death. Is this a knife stab? Am I gonna read abilities for Vel? Did I not? Whoopsie. My bad. Equals I'm here to watch you. Not necessarily I'm here to watch you, but like Luthen knew that she wouldn't do the job in less since a game. So like, yeah, who knows, man. Deals legal damage to target enemy since it stealths for 2 turns. I mean, this has to just be like a fucking knife to the chest. Inflicts breach for 1 turn. If they are breached by this ability block them for 1 turn. If they are ability blocked by this ability, death mark them for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled. This ability can't be resisted by undermined enemy. Okay. So, hey, quick question. I mean, this ability can't be resisted. So you are guaranteed this, which is guaranteed this, which is guaranteed this, which can't be dispelled. Quick question, guys. RIP DCT 2025. This is the actual DCT. Unironically. It's Mary Jane. This is basically everything that I was hoping for and expecting so far. It's actually more, because I didn't think we were going to get characters like Cinta. I figured her part was a little bit too small. Using the villain multiple times at a priority target ensures they are death marks. But am I crazy, or if they have Undermine, is this not just immediate? Like, is this checking for breach before this happens? Like, is this explicitly asking you to hit them with this ability 3 times, or is this it only do 1 at a time? But the check happens after the text. Yeah, we'll have to check the code, but like, it would make a lot more sense balance-wise if it was okay. But I'll be no. No, it's 1 turn. So the ability you hit them 3 times. Oh, okay. I was about to say there's no way that it's that way because it only lasts for 1 turn. Okay, so if I'm understanding this right, this is not if they are breached by this ability, it's if they have been. It's not like you would have to get this 4-turn cooldown, which cycles by some clause I don't remember the exact text of. It's not saying you would have to do this 3 times during this 1-turn breach, I guess. Okay. 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 That's not 1-turn locked unresistible death mark on her first turn. That's still not bad though, because she gets a lot of turns. Alright, what is it? Fight to the death. Whenever your World Fighter ally is damaged by an undermined enemy, reduce the cooldown fight to the death by 1 once per turn. So you're not going to get it immediately, but like, if 5 people are taking turns and Vela is doing her job, you will just be getting it every turn. Alright. And she gets lost at turn meter too, so like you're in theory you could be applying this around everyone else's turn too. Possibly more if you can min-max. Alright. Deal physical damage, target me, inflict defense down for 1 turn. If they are undermined, this defense down can't be dispelled, but it is resistible. So it dispels for 1 turn. Alright. That is accessible. Again, the DCT. I wouldn't say DCT will walk so she could fly. DCT lived a hard life. He did his best. I am glad it was him and not her. To be honest. Yeah, she is the archetypal rogue. In a lot of ways. Alright, big questions for like what her damage numbers are, but we shall see. Oh yeah. Guys, we unlocked a new character. Her name is Vel. I just didn't read any of her shit. Alright, 1 special, 1 basic. Frankly, she kinda didn't really need either. Her unique was already doing enough that a tank needs to do. The blue damage to all enemies and blind them for 1 turn. I'm sorry, I take it back. That's a pretty good thing to be doing. Blind can't be resisted by undermined enemies. Rebel fighter allies gain entrenched for 1 turn. I do not recall exactly what entrenched is. It's not bulwark. Oh, hi. Yeah, convenient. Entrenched. So is it entrenched new? I swear to God, I've heard it mentioned before. In like the last year, maybe even the last 6 months. What am I thinking of? Well, anyway. Rebel fighter allies gain entrenched for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Plus 50% defense, deal 25% more damage for each other entrenched ally when attacking. Strength of numbers. So just plus 50% defense, plus 100% damage? Question mark? Okay. So a very high value tank turn. Which historically for tanks, you don't really hope they take turns, you just kind of hope that they get to live. So we are possibly back on the conversation of Tenacity Vel. It's entrenched, so it's double damage, but it's only for 1 turn. If all allies are if all enemies are undermined, Rebel Fighter allies gain critical chance up and critical damage up for 2 turns. She's got the AK. The AK that pissed a decent amount of people off. Okay, she is a Rebel Fighter. Yeah, it says it sounds. So 5v5, you just expect to have 100%. But if Luthen summon, so would it be 125? 6 people? Question mark? Okay, there is something fucking fascinating going on here too. That actually, weirdly enough, everything I've been doing is in conversation with. If I am already exploring shit like Luthen undersizes, perhaps I am in position to use this stuff uniquely well. I mean, Cassian, Clea, Cinta, Vel, like, fuck, man. Somehow I feel like extra position to exploit this. Alright. Basic ability, AK-47. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict offense down for 1 turn. If the target is undermined, this offense down can't be What? Oh, okay. It's for 1 turn. I was like, OG Kate, close enough. Welcome back, pre-nerf Kanan. All right. I mean, but it is applicable out of turn, so it actually is a little bit of that flavor. I mean, under the assumption that you might just be able to apply it constantly. Entrench equals conquest data disk. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. Thank you for that. The target is undermined. This offense down can be dispelled. Vel gains a stack of resilient defense and additional stack per undermined. Jesus fuck. She is actually making resilient defense sound pretty promising. That is a solid tank. That is all right. R10 Vel. R10 Vel in roughly 14 weeks. Duly noted. On her turn, if all enemies are undermined, Rebel Fighter allies gain protection up 50% for 1 turn. Okay. And Vel gains Deflective Ward for 1 turn or until she receives damage. That is a pretty fucking good basic for a tank. Dude, imagine if she did that out of turn. Oh, that. No. She's playing Counter-Strike. She's got the crowd spray and the headshot. Yeah, the tanks lately have been very good. Scourge was so close, man. Scourge is, in my opinion, Scourge is a victim of the fact that he was built for Lord Vader, and Lord Vader has very defined tank rules. I don't think it's Scorch's fault that Scorch landed a little bit flat. Dude, the Rebel fighter space just got so fucking interesting, I think. Holy, like deciding who goes where when, like we might just have 3 active squads now. And like, oh dude, imagine if all 3 of them have undersize. Well, okay, Mon Mothma undersizes. I don't know if that's real. That will be if Mon Mothma undersize seems viable by the end of today. I feel like something fucked up has happened. But at the very least, Cassian plus Luthen undersizes, plus maybe some action with Mon Mothma. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I've been so fucking hungry for this game to get better modern Rebel fighters for so long. Good to see, man. All right. Control F torture. Yeah. Control F investigation. No investigation again. Okay. Well, wait. Era of Andor can reveal part 2. No. Okay. So that conspiracy theory was not correct. When they gave Mace the investigation mechanic, I was like, they're clearly working on this to tee up Andor. I suppose not. Dedra. Beloved antagonist from Andor represents ambition and tenacity, which drives her to make ruthless decisions that sometimes undermine her allies. So, so they are technically positioning the Andor cast as a hard counter to her, and so, maybe not. I don't know how hard, but natural counter is perhaps the better word. Her magnetic character and striking poise makes her an exciting addition to the holotable. She will fit right into a squad with her fellow ISB allies as a powerful and strategic support unit. Her ISB allies include the pre-existing units IPD and Krennic, as well as new ISB units Major Partagas and KX. Krennic was always a character who showed promise and sounded cool, but just never quite hit the mark. So if he gets a new life, or I don't even know if new life, there was like one off-meta usage for him once, right? But like broadly, the character never really got a chance to shine. So it would be cool to see him matter here. Krennic and IPD reworks. Is that Control F Krennic? Control F Krennic. Oh, the new news just dropped? Where? What are you all talking about? Meet self-confirmed recent events? Alright. Cool, man. Best possible outcome, in my opinion. Well, your work's passion is tomorrow. Fuck yeah. Wait, I don't know how those units modded for this week. Wait about it. Uh-oh. Guys? Alright. What we got? Who's the lead? So my biggest question is this going to be Krennic lead? Because Krennic lead is actually not that awful. But Partagas lead would make some sense. Leader. Right here. Yep, there it is. Alright. Fucking, they did it. Or as opposed, there's no post yet. It will be in the patch notes tomorrow. Meat had self-confirmed it on the SOH Events Discord. It seems that 5 saws Luthen. I don't know if that's hard necessarily true. I think Rebel Fighters right now is going to be a very creative space. Wait, is the lead calibrate your enthusiasm, or is the... I am confused. Okay. So the investigation could come from Krennic rework, which would make some sense. Okay. The conspiracy continues. I mean, calibrate your enthusiasm is probably makes more sense as the ability to delete, but either way, they made the meme. How's the overall kit looking then? Extremely good. Extremely saucy era, as saucy as I was hoping, and then some. This shit did not disappoint. The biggest complaint that I have about this era right now is that I'm gonna have to wait 3.25 fucking months to play it. That is my number one complaint. Alright. Okay, the fact that this says calibrate your enthusiasm makes me think if a mistake was made, it would be more likely to be text than this, right? So this is calibrate your enthusiasm. Did they make the lead name authority as brittle? That's a fucking pull, man. Do they say who is intended to be the lead? Also, did I skip through Dedra? Oh no, I was looking for the lead. That's what happened. I'm fucking all over the place, man. It is what it is. All right. So yeah, Partagaz or Krennic seem to be the lead. She does not have a leadership. Which yeah, I mean, literally in the name, chain of command. She was not at the top. Makes sense. Systems either change or die. The start of battle, if all allies are ISB, Dedra gains 35% tenacity and 50% TM. All the conversations I've been having recently of Imperial units being slow as fuck. Although Darth Vader Duel's End is not ISB. Unless tomorrow's patch is gonna have some crazy news. Yeah. She will have a preload. Whenever other ISB allies trigger expose on enemy on their turn, Dedra undermines that ISB ally. Your Honor, she wasn't that cutthroat. Additionally, if Dedra is rank 3, whenever an ISB ally uses a special ability against an enemy with expose, they inflict torture. If Dedra's rank 3... Wait, did they give her like a ladder climbing mechanic? Dedra gains rank 1 every time she undermines an ally. Oh my fucking... Alright, they're cooked. Alright. Holy shit. I understand now. I see the vision. They actually did the meme. Ah, good shit, man. So if she achieves rank 3, whenever an ISB ally uses a special ability against an enemy with expose, they inflict torture on the target enemy for 2 turns. 2-turn torture is pretty fucking good. I know it's a niche Omicron. I never really recommend anyone to take it, but eventually you do catch up enough. I like how I didn't even have to type in the search just because he's always the first. Speak of the devil. Yeah, if you're like very behind on Omicrons, I don't recommend taking this. But this Omicron is better than it sounds. Because torture, when you think about it, you normally inflict torture for 1 turn, but unless they just went, torture for 1 turn, even if they can't gain turn meter, is like, it goes away pretty fucking fast. Having that 2-turn torture is, yeah, it matters a lot. So the fact that we are seeing them already out on that ball is very, very nice. 2-turn torture is the real deal. Whenever Dedra undermines an ISB ally, she recovers 10% of her max health and gains overconfidence. Dude, I can't. What is overconfident? I don't remember. Whenever an undermined ISB ally takes a turn, she gains 10% turn meter. Whenever an ISB ally's undermined debuff expires, they gain overconfident for 2 turns. What does overconfident do? I don't remember. That's the Finnick Shand debuff. Does this website die? Why does Googling overconfident show Zareth? Did he just include it in his description or something? Oh, I guess Nugent. Arnold. Zareth is the one I noticed first. I think his website's dead. Alright. We know it's Fennec. I mean, we can pull her up here, I guess. Google Shade. It's not Shade, it's just like Google SEO is just so fucking bizarre, man. Minus 20% defense, plus 50% offense, 10% speed, 15% evasion. Uh-oh. It's, you know, I remember Overconfident being a little bit spooky because we're always doing bounty hunters against LV, that the minus 20% defense perhaps felt a bit spicy at times when you weren't, like, always necessarily taking Grief back to full other protection, like Grief heal everyone back to full. Minus 20% defense can be a little bit spicy, but I mean, these are all pretty good things to be doing. Oh, they fucking overcooked this shit. This is goddamn. The fact that they actually got the flavor of like them undermining each other and ranking up and like getting, oh man. Another 3v3 Omicron. CG is okay. Back in the day, I wasn't entirely sold on 3v3 Omicrons, but if they're doing this now to like try to shore up and make more teams, like more new releases viable, I think I don't mind this. Like the moment that we understood that Cassian was lead, the 3v3 Omicron just like immediately made sense. Cool, man. Start a battle, Dedra exposes all enemies for 2 turns and gains 30% max health. While ISB allies are undermined. Hey, guys. Quick refresher question, real quick. Oh, okay. I remembered it as being debuffing enemies. That was the critical hit. So they had to be debuffed and you have to critically hit them. So actually, I wonder if the expose would even work for that. But she preloads Terminator. So so if her... Is this teeing up like a critic thing? Because she starts the 50% preload and she pre-exposes. So like it's possible she's basically 50% preload AoE ability block. And it can't be resisted. The thing you need is more teams for 3v3. 3v3 board is way too huge and we don't have enough teams for it clearly. I am currently in the market for good 3v3 teams. And when I say good, I mean capital G good. Right now, I actually do need more 3v3 teams. There are not that many good 3v3 teams at the moment. The game is evolving, in my opinion. While ISB allies are undermined, they have plus 80% offense and defense. Okay. Can you be undermined and overconfident? Is this like plus defense offsetting the overconfident? When ISB allies gain undermined, if they are already below 50% health, or drop below 50% health, they gain protection up and tenacity up 20% until they are no longer undermined. Whenever Dedra undermines an ISB ally below 50% health, she gains potency up. Dedra's ISB allies should focus the targets on enemies that have been exposed. By triggering exposes, they become undermined. Dedra will in turn reap benefits from undermining her ISB allies. Overconfident and Torture will also amplify ISB's strengths as an offense-heavy squad. Her Omicron starts off the battle with enemies that are already exposed. This accelerates the process of her applying Undermine. Undermining 3v3 GA is significantly more desirable to her allies and not only increases the ISB's offensive capabilities, but also acts as a slight safety net. Yeah. Alright. The rigid system doesn't facilitate the means. She deems them insufficient. Oh. He asked and answered already. I didn't think to look. Just to make sure, Torture blocks TM gain. Yeah. Yeah, so 2 turns of you can't gain TM. Is the Torture locked? I did not look. I just assumed. It doesn't say it is, but like, does 000? Okay, this says torture can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. So there is a possibility that it is dispellable. I guess we shall see. Alright, so expose sounds pretty important here. Unique to Chain of Command. At the start of battle, she gains rank 1. Every time Dedra undermines an ally, she gains a rank. Every time Undermine expires from an ally without them taking damage, Dedra loses. She can be demoted. Fucking A, that is also true. Holy shit. Whenever she gains rank 3... Wait, so was everyone gonna have Chain of Command and everyone's just constantly fighting to rank up or down? Dude. This is very cool. We finally got ranked ladder in Galaxy of Heroes, and it's all in one squad. Fucking guys, I'm hard stuck rank 2. It's not my fault. So, in theory, gaining and losing rank 3 could be pretty decent. Hard stuck rank 1, peak rank 3. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Thesis, yeah, they're just doing it, man. They're leading in. Starts off the encounter at rank 2, so does Krennic start at rank 3 then? Oh, man. Clayby with Sar Mothma? Well, Cassian is a new lead, so technically there are 3 people to theory crap between on how you want to split up the teams. It's gonna be good. To be honest, it's such a fucking huge question. I think we're gonna have to read all the kids, and I think it's gonna be its own conversation. I don't even know if I'm equipped to have this conversation. Like, well, we could try, but dude, it's so much to wrap my head around to give like an actual quality answer. Great abilities on Dodron. I did forget. I look. That is the unofficial sign that a character is good. If I get through the uniques and lead and keep scrolling, it's because the character already feels complete to me. It's like I got my full meal. I feel like, all right, on to the next course, and it's like, but sir, you forgot everything. Like, you forgot the actual kit. Special 2, do not bore me. She gains 20% crit chance and crit damage, an additional 20% stacking, max 100% for each other undermined ISB ally until she uses her basic on her turn. Cooldown of 3. Okay, so you will inevitably have to basic, unless there's some sort of cooldown reduction. It's the fucking scene from The Founder where he tries McDonald's for the first time and he's like, hey, what do you mean? Alright. And it is 20% for each other undermined ISB ally until she uses her basic on her turn. Okay, so potentially just 100% crit chance and crit damage wholesale. Wait, that's the entire ability. If she's rank 2 or above, she gains 20% protection up. If she is rank 3, grants all ISB support allies retribution and speed up for 2 turns. The higher her rank is, the more buffs she is able to grant herself and the rest of her ISB allies. Timing this ability before a party gets it. Our critics assist calls will allow her to utilize a critical chance to damage the buffs as much as possible. Timing this ability before Partagaz or Krennic's assist calls. Haha. Krennic rework? Hint? Did we know? Or does he already? He calls DT to assist, I remember. Yeah. Possible Krennic rework hints. He will have an assist call. Groundbreaking information. Okay, so you are amping her up to become a threat, and then having other people utilize her. Brief window of power. Krennic Omicron possibly not a scam anymore, but isn't it broadly DT oriented? I guess with a small stat boost, certainly that's applicable. Yeah, it's very DT oriented, and everyone has to have ISB. So unless DT gets the ISB tag, which it doesn't sound like he will. Yeah, the ISB kits are fucking hilarious, dude. This is cinema. Could be very true. Very, very true. Extremely true. Good point. Yeah, very well could be a quote unquote new Omicron on the market. They finally gave Krennic an Omicron. Hey, we will see. All right, so broadly just a utility move. Like in a weird way, this is like kind of a do nothing ability. It's just like sheer utility, and it's like lowercase u utility. I mean, from what they described, like this is Dedra is the canon, and she basically just primes herself, and then everyone else uses her. So it's a do nothing ability, but also simultaneously extremely important. Interesting. Watch your back. Dispel debuffs on ISB allies. Dedra gains tenacity for 2 turns. Call all other ISB allies that are not undermined and the target ally to assist. So possibly a double assist, I assume. Then undermine target ally for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. Grant assisting allies offense up for 2 turns, and they recover 50% of their max health at the end of the turn. So I wonder how often people are not going to be undermined, because when I first read the clause, it actually sounded like very frequent, but I guess it depends on how many exposes are happening. Interesting. Dedra undermines an ally and calls on her ISB allies to assist. Does she, though? Oh, then undermine target ally. Gotcha. For 2 turns. How often or how long does the unique? Whatever other ISB allies trigger expose enemy for 1 turn, or for the turn, undermines for 1 turn. Okay, 1 turn will be off and on fairly frequently, but the one she grants is 2 turns specifically. Okay. Yeah, and that will help her give rank. Or get rank. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So Undermine being plus speed on the Rebel Fighter sense is like a spicy trade-off. This is also a spicy trade-off, but in the opposite sense, you're doing this for plus speed. I see. I gotcha. I was so used to looking at it as a downside that I failed to consider the opposite effects. Alright. Basic effective covert action. Deal physical damage to the target immediately, expose them for 1 turn. Works out of turn. If they are already exposed at the start of Dedra's turn, she deals an additional 50% bonus damage and gains retaliate. So after that possible 100% crit chance and crit damage, plus 50% bonus damage on top, she could definitely hurt. Expose is applied against the target mage. She triggers a pre-existing exposed debuff on her turn. Effective covert action is that there's only damage dealing ability, and her special ability, Do Not Bore Me, will buff the amount of damage this ability does. Using effective covert action also sets up her allies to trigger exposes. Yeah, she's. I don't know if Galaxy of Heroes has too many characters like this. Pretty much all of her turns she takes is not about what she does on her turn. She tees herself up for other people. It's very different. It's very interesting. I mean, you could imagine a character just being like, "Hey, yeah, guys, I have like triple damage now. Call me to assist, please." I'd be like, "Man, all right, sounds good." Fucking A, man. Cool character. The leader of the ISB, Major Partagas, arrives at the hall tables to contain any unforeseen rebel activities with his ruthless efficiency, analytical and strategic decisions, and an unwavering drive to protect the Empire. Partagas is designed to be a leader who can be ruthless in his decisions, but also stand firm as a supportive mentor to his fellow ISB team members, such as Dedra and the KX security droid. Partagas is expected to help these new ISB units alongside Director Krennic and the IPD to punish the enemies as the battle proceeds. Okay, I just realized they're leaning into the memes for Partagas, right? There's gonna be like a new unique referencing the fucking Kalkai thing, right? Almost unavoidably. Why do you feel like Satila is gonna hard dunk on ISB? Because she's gonna hard dunk on everything. Hope that helps. Satil is a fucked up character. It turns out doing almost 1 million true damage to stuff is a pretty good thing to be doing. Sorry, I just realized. CG increased the amount of protection in set 26. And I believe set 26 will still exist when Satil becomes playable. So there's gonna be like a 1 month window where she is just Thanos. Okay. Okay. So we have established R10 Satil immediately, R10 Vel immediately. What else we got? Partagas, just a full-blown meme character. God damn it. Leader, I am going to assume the leader is Authority is Brittle, and that this is Calibrate Your Enthusiasm. At the start of battle, I should J care for the crit chance with Satil. What crit chance? We're doing true damage, brother. What crits? You're going to hey shoot that guy, and then everyone does like 150 to 200,000 true damage. Leader, calibrate your enthusiasm at the start of battle. Major Partagas inflicts potency down and speed down on all enemies for 2 turns. ISB allies gain 50% bonus protection, 30 speed. And ISB allies that are rank 3 ignore taunt effects on their turn until the end of battle. ISB allies have a 25% crit chance, defense and tenacity at rank 1, doubled at rank 2, and quadrupled at rank 3. Holy. Alright, that is just straight up 100% defense and tenacity for assumedly Krennic at match start. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, all ISB allies gain 5% offense stacking until the end of battle. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, just infinite ramping offense. ISB allies deal 5% more damage when targeting a target locked enemy and recover 5% health and protection. ISB allies inflict speed down for 2 turns whenever they attack out a turn. While in Grand Arenas, Major Partagas starts the battle at rank 3. Okay. It gains 50 speed. I wonder if... Can there only be one rank 3? Like, if... I assume Krennic will start at rank 3, so would that make him rank 2? Major Partagas starts the battle at rank 3 and gains 50 speed. Whenever an allied ISB... That's 50 speed on top of 30, by the way. We're in, like, Malgus territory. Sorry. Whenever an allied ISB support gains Retaliate, they also gain 20% bonus protection for 1 turn. And whenever an ISB ally is damaged, Major Partagas gains 50% TM. The first time each ally falls below 30% health, they recover 30% health and protection. ISB support allies stealth for 1 turn, and ISB tank allies taunt for 1 turn. Alright. Ice ally takes damage, gets turn meter. Fall blow 30, recover 30 of each. Ice speed, sport ice, stealth, ice speed. So a little bit of flavor of Saga around. I mean, it can be pretty annoying for solid times, right? The whole, like, you think you kill a tank and then they just re-up and taunt on top. You're like, oh, fuck. With this special... Wait. I am lost. I think... Yeah, I think it's just a little bit out of order. We'll give it a refresh. Allowing him to equip the squad with action items that not only protect them, but also reward them for their progress. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Unique 1, Security is Illusion. Whenever party guys inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all enemies lose 5% potency, stacking max 50%. So we have a lot of team tenacity as well as a negative potency for the enemy team. Hi, bud. Alright, I'm sorry. I know it's a fucking mess. I was in a hurry. You will be alright. Leave the coffee alone. Go to sleep. Alright. Security is Illusion. Whenever major party guys inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all enemies lose 5% potency. Sorry, we got there. To start a battle, if all eyes are ISB, major party guys can't be targeted for the rest of battle. Whenever an enemy can be targeted until all eyes are dead, or just, I mean, assumably he could just be targeted when he's last. Whenever an enemy gains foresight or stealth, dispel it. And expose that enemy for 2 turns. He retreats. He is reverse on Mava. Don't read the notes, they are AI. Does it say beam, or what are you talking about? Mommy. Here, hold my hand. Calm down a bit. Calm down, bud. Alright, where were we? Whenever an enemy gains foresight or stealth, dispel it and expose the enemy for 2 turns. Oh yeah, I was about to say. What does that mean for Bad Batch 2? Does Bad Batch 2 just get, like, exposed every single turn? That's a fuck up the vibes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kinda don't care. Not for this. With 1 stack for each rank major Partagas has. 3 wait. So he just possibly does 3 exposes for starting at rank 3? Is this just like the hardest Bad Batch counter I've ever heard? It will be possibly a lot of crosshair action. But that's... Finally, we have run into possibly the first team that Bad Batch cannot beat. Assuming that it looks at the lock stealth and just tries to expose it before dispelling it. and it can't be resisted. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, it remove 5% of their max protection until the end of battle. Damn. Didn't they also get offense stacking on top? This. So anytime you're like, all right, boys, time to get my banners back to full, they're just like taking notes. Although, okay. Technically that can backfire. That can backfire in the sense that reducing their max protection could actually help fast track them back to full banners. It's still very interesting that we finally have people going after protection regen. Start a major part of Gaz's turn. All ISB allies gain 20% offense for 2 turns. If there are no other allied combatants at the start of a turn, major part of Gaz escapes from battle. So he is Don Mothma. Security illusion with major part against the basic and special ability allows them to reduce the ability of all enemies to inflict debuffs up to 50%. Ability also allows major part guys to stay in the background without being noticed. Yeah, it's like kind of jank. We wanted to showcase analytical skills and tactical brilliance. He understands how the muse think and is constantly tactically set to all enemy plans before they are executed. Okay, he did it to stealth and foresight, if I remember right. If you remove all the protection, they can't recover it. Yes, but it has to proc so many times that it would have to be like a very specific type of team. Unique to the lead. Yeah, this is going to be like it's going to be like Inquisitors. Everyone will share this unique because this, or like mercenaries, right? This is the rule set for ISB. The ISB are all constantly trying to like rank up and undermine each other. It is so fucking on brand. Fall is ISB. Oh wait, we did this already. Yeah, starts at rank 2. GSE starts at rank 3. Wait, did I read this? Fall is ISB starts at rank 2. I remember this. I don't remember the last thing. Whatever an ISB ally uses a special ability, other ISB allies at rank 2 or higher gain 10% counter chance stacking. Whenever an enemy is defeated, ISB allies increase their rank by 1. Everyone ranks up. Whenever an ISB ally is defeated, everyone deranks. Morale is down. Interesting. Should we do Cassian, or should we save Cassian for last and do KX? Since we're already in the Empire mindset. I think we do Cassian last. Leader, I have friends everywhere. Yep, of course. I think we do KX. Good things come to those who wait. Yep, they got the barrier punt. Why do I get the feeling that this character is going to be a beast? Mommy, just lay down and sleep. I will stop petting you. If it helps you sleep. I'm not trying to overstimulate you. Alright. Andor reduced KX droids as a stoic and obedient enforcement machine, which have the potential to do great damage while shielding their allies. This version of KX draws additional inspiration from the Jedi Survivor games, which is one reason why he carries the Electro Riot baton. He is the missing piece of the ISB squad, granting them a stout tank. Okay, R10 KX confirmed, clearly, already. Who can survive against attacking enemies, deal damage, and enable Imperial Probe Droid to use its self-destruct more often. Yeah, it seems to me like they are going to make this man in the vein of like Spider Maul. Two uniques, but the second unique is, of course. I mean, let's just see what it is. The starter battle, he starts at rank 1 Whenever KX security droid attacks at a turn while taunting, he gains a rank. Wait, what is Partagas? I don't know if I remember seeing it. Partagas does not have rank benefits? Okay, he does not have them. Interesting. I mean, his lead has them, I guess, technically. Maybe they are what counts, but it's shared among everyone. Okay, here. You're going to have this. Have your will be. Start battle gains rank 1. Whenever KX attacks at a turn while taunting, he gains a rank. Whenever taunt is dispelled, he loses a rank. Ooh. What if it's going to be K2 taunt rules? Whenever taunt is dispelled, KX loses a rank. While he's rank 2 or above, his basic deals 10% true damage based on his max health. It really depends on how often it's going to be happening. Obviously, if you're just counterattacking nonstop, it's value. If it's every once in a while, it's not necessarily broken. But, yeah, that shit adds up. While he is rank 3, he has 100% counter chance. Okay, so you just want to try to get to a point where he is just countering constantly. Alright. Unique 1. Start a battle, he gains 50% max health for each ISB ally. Whenever KX gains 5 stacks of overcharge, he gains max health 10% stacking. Momi, dude, just lay down on your bed. Stop trying to eat your bed. If KX attacks a target locked enemy, expose them for 2 turns. If KX is critically hit, he gains a stack of overcharge and inflicts defense down on the attacking enemy for 2 turns. Whenever an ISB droid ally is defeated, KX gains frenzy. Dude, what are you doing? I don't know what to do with you, boy. Lie down and curl up in a ball. KX is critically hit, he gains a stack of overcharge and inflicts defense down on the attacking enemy for 2 turns. Whenever an ISB droid ally is defeated, KX gains frenzy for 2 turns and a stack of endure for the rest of the encounter. I don't remember what endure does. Whenever an undermined ally is damaged, that can include himself, I think. Taunt for 1 turn. Yeah, I mean, you would assume. Taunt for 1 turn, and whenever KX is undermined, he gains protection up, stacking for the rest of the encounter. Whenever an ISB droid ally is defeated, KX gains frenzy for 2 turns. So is that a reference that IPD will be revivable, I assume? Isn't that on the TW Omicron, though, or what if Krennic will make it work everywhere? I mean, yeah, he normally says it, right? So I guess that's more of a TW flavor than, like, a general kit, maybe? This is a fairly sticky taunt clause, and the team already does come with a decent amount of tenacity to start. But if you start to get rank 1, he only gets 25. Or 20. I forget which, but I think it's 25. While in TW, if all allies are ISB at the start of the battle, KX gains retribution for 1 turn, taunts for 3 turns, and immunity to daze, and all allies have plus 50% max health protection. Whenever KX gains rank 3, he can no longer lose rank. Kinda wish he had that everywhere, to be honest, but fair enough. Whenever KX attacks at a turn, he gains 1% max health stacking until the end of battle. I gotta be honest, gotta wish he had that everywhere as well. And all allies gain 5% turn meter. Yeah, gotta wish he had that everywhere as well. You expect an if all ISB IPD revives it to self-destruct? Yeah, that sounds correct. Because, yeah, they said IPD is getting a rework as well, right? Yeah. That. That would make sense. Whenever an ISB ally uses special ability, KX assists. Whenever KX uses his ability, please do not resist and has more than 3 stacks of overcharge. He gains Foresight. If he has 5 stacks of overcharge, also blind all enemies for 1 turn. Whenever IPD uses self-destruct, all allies gain Endure for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled. They've recovered 100% protection. What is Endure? I am blanking on what Endure is. Oh, it's the kicks thing, probably, right? Yeah. Okay. Endure's pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see what the rest of the kit says, but in terms of tank flavor, I kind of wish this was base kit. Oh well, he at least has this. Not a barn burner tank unique. It's alright. Yeah, we already did this. Man, like, doesn't he have the assists in CW or whatever? Yeah, whatever an ISB ally uses, especially KX assist with the rank 2 KX. Man. Alright. Whatever. It is what it is. Please do not resist. Punt the fucking barrier. KX security droid gains offense equal to 200% of his defense for 1 turn. Deal physical damage to all enemies, and KX gains defensive and taunts for 2 turns. If all eyes are ISB, also gain alert and protect. Okay, so we have some assisting. Possible. Other ally ISB droids take 5% max health damage that ignores protection. If KX security droid is rank 2 or above, call him to assist. Like, is it a self-assist or call IPD to assist? If he's rank 3, stagger the target enemy for 1 turn. Alright. So it's not like infinite ramping Dito, but it is still Dito. The one thing I will say regarding tank damage is tanks historically have abysmal armor pen that you might see clauses and think to yourself, wait, what if I just really lean on the damage? Unless you are just shredding their armor to oblivion, it doesn't quite live up to the hype that you can imagine. Does IPD have to be below half or below full? Well, IPD has full health. It can't be. Okay. Self-destruct has an 8-turn cooldown, though. I forget. What is it? Does it get reduced by? It does not say. Oh, it's a TB Omicron, not a TW. Right. Oh, I'm curious on if that will have cooldown reduction under some clause. Okay. Just one special? Just one special. Basic, baton deployed. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and gain a stack of overcharge max 5 and recover 20% health and protection per stack of overcharge. During his turn, if he has 5 stacks of overcharge, shock the enemy for 1 turn, which can't be resisted, and remove all overcharge stacks. So you're trying to counter and then spend it with basic. Alright. Not the most insane tank that I've seen, but I imagine, like, the Undermine Retaunt will do most of what's needed. I don't know if I will be art-tending him. It really depends. I guess we will have to see the reworks tomorrow to really get a full idea of what the spot is going to be in. I love the flavor, but yeah, there's major questions for, like, because isn't Krennic like AoE stagger or something, like, off rip? Deal damage to all enemies with a 70% chance of, like, stagger. Yeah, like, that's a crazy thing to start with, but he is also a 149 base speed. That is a 1, and then a 4, and then a 9. $149 plus 30, which is still quite slow. Wait, did I actually read part of Gaz's abilities? I don't think I did. Call ISB allies to assist and they recover 20% of the protection. If all allies were ISB at the start of battle, all enemies are target locked for 2 turns. If the target enemy was already target locked, all ISB allies have their cooldown reduced by 1. I was looking to see that. Okay, so you cooldown reduce Dedra. Her 3-turn cooldowns go to 2, and in theory she could juggle them. So she could stack. Okay. If Major Party gets rank 3, blind the target enemy for 2 turns and increase the cooldown of all enemies by 1. Rank 2 or above, ISB allies gain retaliated for 2 turns. And 5% tenacity stacking for the rest of battle. Rank 3 ISB allies gain tactical supremacy. This ability can't be evaded or resisted. I think tactical supremacy started with Trench. That's a pretty good ability. Yeah, I don't even know if I read this. If all ISB at the start of battle, all enemies are target locked. Target enemy was already target locked. All ISB allies have their cooldown reduced by 1. Okay. A good thing to be doing. Thesis, please. Inflict health down on target enemy for 2 turns. Health down is weird and niche, and I feel like shockingly strong at times. If it shows up in scenarios where health pools are already very small, like you put health down on a Gungan and it just like destroys them. Like their health pool just goes to like 100. During his turn, are they just like very anti-Gungan? During his turn, call target other allies to be allied to assist. Okay, targeted assist call on basic. Dealing 25% more damage per rank Major Partagaz has. So up to 75% more damage. If he is rank 2 or above, all ISB allies gain speed up. If he is rank 3, also daze the target enemy. Alright. Team speed up plus assist call plus target daze is like pretty high tempo. Damn, dude. So ISB's running theme seems to be they are all 1-button characters, except for I guess the old ones. They are all 1 button, but the abilities themselves have like multiple layers. Interesting. Very interesting. So is it? Oh, this might be a nightmare to find. Never mind. Easy. Not easy. Easy. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, remove 5% of their max protection. Okay, so it's not like... It's not whenever one person recovers, everyone loses. So Gungans aren't gonna get, like, hardcore zaps. It's gonna drain them over time, but I don't really remember them gaining protection that terribly often. Like, a decent amount. This would hit harder on some shit like, I mean, JMK comes to mind a bit. Right, isn't Kenobi like every time you assist regen? Whenever a GR ally attacks out of turn, all GR allies recover 2% health and protection. Yeah. You press A button. Snips assists. And then someone else assists. That is 2 zaps team-wide per turn. Now, I assume it's going to be the rules where you have to... You can't be full protection for this to count, I assume. But yeah, we'll see. I am talking about an example of like what actual protection recovery looks like. I'm not talking about the matchup dynamics. I'm saying that like Gungans have like this move. I know. Dispel plus 20% protection. He gains max protection, which won't count, but like he recovers, but that's individual, and it has to be on his turn. Special ally recover. I mean, in TW, sure. Okay, so 1 tick here. Whenever Tarples attacks out of turn, he and the weakest of their ally recover protection. So when Jar Jar calls a mass, is basically. Or I guess when he counterattacks. Bombardier. Oh my god, okay. I get it. So if he was already taunting when he uses this, he gets zapped once. Yeah, but that's already one Gen is down. Okay, so that move does... Yeah, so point being, they have an okay amount of protection regen, but it's not the same as like every single JMK turn equals 2 procs on every single person. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. Is it like a protection over time? Yeah. I believe it comes on the Boss Nass move. Or no, I think it might come on I mean, the shield up, but that's just protection up based on shield pool. I think they just get protection over time. Whenever failing to attacks enemy out of turn, the weakest Gungan ally gains 3 stacks of protection over time. I mean, 3 stacks, maybe a triple procs. Alright. Is it time? Cassian Andor was built upon the foundation of love we had for the Andor series. Being able to watch him grow into the leader he became throughout the show, we knew that we had to find a home for him in the game. Throughout the series, we saw him working in parallel with Luthen and his operatives around the galaxy, each playing a significant role in undermining the oppression of the Empire. We wanted to reflect that with having Cassian lead a new team of rebel fighters that included them. Vel with her unwavering resilience, Cinta with her fearlessness, and Clea with her tactical prowess. I hope you enjoy fighting the Empire with us. 2 specials, a unique, a lead. Alright. I have friends everywhere. Rebel Fighter allies have 100% potency and 50% defense. Undermined enemies have minus 25 speed and can't be assisted. Pseudo isolation. Not full isolation, but like a weird inverse daze. An exile E daze. If all... Well, no, not exile. Isolation E daze. If all as a rebel fighters, Cassian takes only 1 damage from attacks unless he is critically hit on that turn. Huh? What, so you give him a fucking CA cron and draft vulnerable asshole, or is the defeat? Rebel fighter allies have 100% plus 100% tenacity until a rebel fighter ally is defeated. Wilds. He self-vulns and self-CAs. Is he a tank? I assume no. Abbas. Start of Cassian's VIP's turn, all undermined enemies lose 10% max health for the rest of the encounter. And Rebel Fighter allies gain 10% Death Pen and offense stacking for the rest of the encounter. While a Rebel Fighter ally has Cassian's VIP, all allied Rebel Fighters have 100% crit avoidance. Whenever an enemy dispels Undermine, Rebel Fighter allies gain 20% TM. Whenever an enemy dispels a buff on a Rebel Fighter ally, they are undermined for one turn, which can't be resisted. I would have to go back and check on how many instances of Undermine were dispellable or not. While in Grand Arenas, Rebel Fighter allies take reduced damage from percentage health damage effects and gain instant defeat immunity, which can't be copied, dispelled, or is prevented until a Rebel Fighter ally is defeated. Alright. Come and fight me. Excluding summoned units. Interesting. Glad to see that exception. What is that? So can Luthen work under Cassian, though? Because Luthen's the one with the summon. But Luthen... Or does Luthen get access under... Because is Cassian a support? We don't know, I guess. Well, Cassian is a support. Wait, he swaps? Wait. Alright. Oh, it's not a... Okay, this is a design note. Okay. I thought it was saying, like, while he has the support tag, as in he would swap at other points. Okay. They want Luthen, but you don't get access? But he's the support. No? Oh. I thought it might have just been like a... Who had it? Who am I thinking of? Grogan? So Drogon was future-proofed for Cassian Andor. Well. Oh, we shall see. I mean, Clea inflicts allies with keen stratagem, does she not? Well. And yeah, he assists people who have it, right? Whenever Drogon deals damage to an enemy, he and all allies with keen stratagem recover 5% protection. Okay, we got good offense protection region as well. Duly noted. Would you rather have access if you already have a Vel tank? I would have to sit and simmer to like have an answer to that question, but just trying to get a grasp of what tools we have available. You can't recall what Curator does. So Curator is actually kind of ham, but it changes his flavor a lot. The most notable thing is that Axis Luthen is the one that has the crazy damage on the summon, I believe. Mo, your butt. Get your butt off the keyboard. I know, but you're a very sleepy boy. Yeah, expendable asset. Lose 70% max health and gain 70% offense. Whenever Rebel Trooper uses basic ability, inflict defense down, which can be evaded. Whenever Rebel Trooper uses a special ability, they are inflicted with marked. It's the stuff that turns it into a tank, but also the stuff that turns it into a nuker, so to speak. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see. Also, yeah, I mean, honestly, this move is quite nice. Not that this is bad by any means either. It's basically a double mass. It's kind of nuts. But the team cleanse plus TM per debuff is pretty nice. Well, are you trying to get over there? Here, I made a path. Go chill with your brother. Yes. There you go. All right. Where were we? Wait, so he like shapeshifts based on identities? Does he go sniper ship? Basic's club. All right, man. Good shit. We did not finish the lead. We need to go back. Yeah, so whenever they lose Undermine, gain 20% TM. Oh, wait, no, we got to reduce damage for percent health. Did we finish this? I don't think we did. Where were we? Whenever an ally is damaged when they have Cassian's VIP, the cooldown of Variant Sky is reset. Is kind of nuts. It's gonna be sniping people nonstop. Start of Cassian VIP's turn. Rebel Fighter allies gain 5% mastery. So depending on who you place it on, maybe you could create an engine. Like Cinta gained a lot of Terminator members, so like maybe putting it on Cinta could like turn her into a mastery battery. Cassian did his best work when he was an unknown alias working behind the scenes. I agree. And we didn't realize it was him. He was quick to work unimpeded. The critical hitting of Cassian is self-efficacious vulnerable from his unique. We haven't got there yet. Are meant to represent when the enemy was able to successfully pin him down. Otherwise, he's able to shake it off and slip away. Yep. Turn off on GL. Where? Oh, on the unique. Unique Cassian has plus 50% critical avoidance per undermined enemy. And gains 100% counter chance at the start of each of his non-undermined enemy's turn until the end of their turn. Cassian is immune to critical immunity. Whenever Cassian attacks out of turn, he is inflicted with vulnerable for 1 turn. Huh. It is dispellable. A very, very robust enemy, or, well, enemy in this case if you're fighting him. If there are no GLs at the start of battle, whenever there are 3 or more out-of-turn attacks during an enemy's turn, that enemy is undermined for 1 turn. 3 or more out-of-turn attacks during an enemy's turn. So if someone does a mass assist that calls himself in 33, I wonder if that will count. Which can't be resisted but is dispellable. If any enemy is undermined, Cassian gains Fearless until no enemies are undermined. Fearless is the Leia. Again, we talked about this with Satila a bit, right? I don't know How much of Fearless... Leia establishes a lot of rule set for Fearless that it would be easy to assume applies anywhere and might not be the case. Fearless, all allies are immune to expose and fear. All allies have a 50% offensive tenacity. So even if that's all you get, that's a pretty good thing to be doing. If any enemy is undermined, Cassian gains Fearless until no enemies are undermined. Whenever an enemy who wasn't undermined is undermined, Cassian gains 10% turn meter. Whenever an enemy who wasn't undermined is undermined. I don't know why I repeated that. Sorry. I am starting to reach the point where my brain is holding too much stuff and I am reading without internalizing. Okay, so once someone gains undermined, you have Fearless until they lose it. And every time that you undermine someone, gain TM. Whenever an undermined enemy... Undermined is starting to not look like a real word to me anymore. Undermine, you say. Whenever an undermined... my brain is breaking. Whenever an undermined enemy removes turn meter from Cassian, all enemies lose 25% TM. That is so specific. Whenever an enemy with undermine gains a buff from their ally, that ally is undermined for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. And at the end of the turn, all buffs are dispelled on the enemy who gained the buff, and ally rebel fighters have their debuffs dispelled. Alright. My brain is increasingly fried. Let me... One more pass. Whenever enemy with undermine gains a buff from their ally... Okay, the person who... Okay. If you help someone who's undermined, you get undermined. And at the end of the turn, all buffs are dispelled on the enemy who gained the buff. Interesting. And all Rebel Fire allies have their debuffs dispelled. So... This is not... This is below this, but there's a line break, so it might not be with this. It might not have the check. The start of Cassian VIP's turn. Cassian recovers full health protection. Wow. Whenever Cassian's VIP uses a special ability, the target enemy is undermined for 1 turn. Dispellable, resistible. While in Grand Arenas, the enemy that damaged an ally with Cassian's VIP is undermined for 1 turn, which can be dispelled or resisted. Man, so part of the process of learning this squad, as well as theorycrafting who goes where, is going to be understanding who has locked undermine versus unlocked, and whether or not you're using it in a matchup where, like, you can find a matchup where it's like, okay, they have a ton of cleansing. I would actually get a fuck ton of benefit from bringing people who have dispellable undermine, so I could try to capitalize. There will be some times where you will apply like a locked undermine, and that could be a bad thing. Not necessarily bad, but just like, you know, it will deny you some opportunities. So enemy that damages the VIP is undermined for 1 turn. Locked. At the start of Cassian VIP's turn, also recover full health and protection of the weakest ally. Okay, since a VIP is like more and more. Holy shit. It's going down. I don't know if any of that picked up. Oh, yeah. VIP takes a turn, full heal the weakest ally. And interestingly enough, that could even serve as like patching up your entire team if it's like the weakest ally could end up at times just being the person who has taken the most damage per turn. Whenever Cassian's VIP uses an ability, the target enemy is undermined for 1 turn. I wonder if undermine can invisibly stack. Or is the one where it's like when they lose it? I could have sworn there was a bonus somewhere for. Yeah, whenever an enemy dispels undermine, both fighter allies gain 20% turn meter. Yeah, if that can invisibly stack. They're locked in their play fight beating the shit out of each other. It was ferocious. It got so bad that they're chasing each other out of the room now. I really wish I could have done a Kakim. They cannot be trusted with technology. Alright. A lot of rules around Undermine. It's going to be very central to a lot of our decision making. Do we want. Who do we want to undermine? Do we want it to be locked or temporary? Are all very important questions. Who is about to hit me? That is an important question. Who is about to game boss? That is an important question. Cool. I actually really enjoy teams like that where, like, part of the strategic decision making is, like, rewarded if you know the matchup and, like, can predict turns. Good stuff. Special ability 2, Varian Sky. Target other Rebel Fighter ally gains 50 speed for 1 turn and recovers 20% health and protection. If all allies are Rebel Fighters, target other ally also gains VIP until they are damaged twice. Until they're damaged twice VIP. Oh. That is short. Cassie deals 30,000 true damage to target enemy, which can't be evaded and blinds them for 1 turn. Undermine the enemy in the leader slot for 1 turn, which can't be resisted, but is dispellable. The ability deals 15,000 more true damage for each time or for each turn a VIP has taken this encounter, stacking max 150,000. The one thing I will say with this, as with any flat damage, is you should be very nervous about future proofing or lack thereof. I have a Balin right now who, just core base stats alone, is at like 450,000 bulk, and that is before other increases, for example. So just saying, there is something to be said for. I mean, right? They gave Ray Whirlwind's future proofing for similar reasons, and Satil kind of suffers from the same thing, but it scales with her own stats, right? So the future proofing is kind of built in there. This does not seem to have any ability to scale. We will see. While in Grand Arenas, of all allies or Rebel Fighters, target other Rebel Fighter ally gains damage enemy for 1 turn. Rebel Fighter allies gain 10% turn meter and max health for the rest of the encounter. Target enemy is inflicted with healing immunity for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled or resisted, and if they had undermined, all other enemies without undermine are undermined, which can't be resisted. Alright, I gotta do one more pass. I am increasingly brain cooked. I apologize. If all allies are Rebel Fighters, target other Rebel Fighter ally gains damage immunity. Dispellable. Preventable. Rebel Fighter allies gain 10% TM and max health for the rest of the encounter. So 10% TM, and if Drogon assists, it's 20 with the Omicron. Target enemy is inflicted with healing immunity, non-dispellable, non-resistible. If they had undermined, all other enemies without undermine are undermined. Unresistible but dispellable. Okay. Oh yeah, so a value of 180,000 true damage is very much more so like centered on like the squishies, right? It makes sense that he is not necessarily a tank buster. And squishies, for what it's worth, like you look at Relic 10, squishies are not unsquishing themselves. Like if Relic 10 was giving the same amount as Relic 9, that would perhaps be, that would make me sweat a bit. But yeah, we'll see. If it becomes a problem, then hopefully CG will do something someday. But for now, 180k. You could do better, you could do worse. Certainly next to Satil, it looks a little bit worse, but it'll be alright. And we will have to see on s3.gg about damage numbers tomorrow. Give Gorgo. The man just straight up calls in a fucking bombing run. Despite all debuffs on Rebel Fighter allies, and they gain high morale for one turn, which can be copied and 10% turn meter. Was it? I know, Satil had it. Deal physical damage to all enemies and at least. Alright, wait. Deal physical damage to all enemies and an additional instance of damage to undermined enemies. Undermine the enemy with the least turn meter for 2 turns. Resistible, dispellable. So there's a decent chance that he is going to be a damage dealer. Basic ability Clem, deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict speed down for 1 turn. If they already had speed down from this ability, undermine them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted but is dispellable. If they were already undermined, undermine another random enemy who doesn't already have it for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled. Interesting. During his turn, if all enemies are undermined, call all other Rebel Fighter allies to assist. Okay. I was about to start talking about, again, you know, the fact that, right, we see one which can't be resisted and one which can't be dispelled. There could be meaningful decision making there. But I mean, if the reward is, yeah, dude, just undermine everyone and you start getting mass assists, maybe there will be times where you just want to go. I mean, think of Leia mass assist, right? Leia basic. That feels pretty fucking good, right? So perhaps it would feel pretty good here if we just tried to focus on maintaining that. Damn, dude. How are things looking? Incredibly fun. My hopes were pretty high, and they beat out my hopes. They cooked. They cooked extremely, extremely hard. I like, we'll have to see. Cassian might actually end up being decently number specific, but like, I mean, the unique and lead are already doing so much, and like the rest of the characters look so good that like, I don't even really need Cassian to be much. I don't remember what high morale does. What do you do? High morale. High morale. All stats are increased by 25%. Just like that. It's 25% of everything. Okay, that's pretty good. It is literally everything up. Okay. Got it. Damn, dude. Alright. Oh, we're not done. Prepare to enter the Era of Andor. We spent a lot of time analyzing the feedback from our 10th anniversary launch. We are taking a conservative approach to changes for this era. We are implementing several key quality of life adjustments to reduce friction, protect players from overspending too early, try to clear a roadmap for protection. Lowered requirements for the first 3 marquees of the Andor era. The EL requirement for the final tier has been reduced from EL 70 to 55. That's nice. Requirements for the final 3 marquees will remain at EL70 as players will have had more time to naturally accumulate materials by that stage. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Things are just so backloaded right now that it was just like it felt like things were impossible, and then it felt like things were extremely doable, like almost too doable. If that could be structure could be flattened a bit, unless they're just like worried about people. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see it flattened a bit, perhaps. But I guess it's really just about Coliseum, the Relic War. Oh man, I just realized the era ending means that we're gonna have to re-roll shards and see if we how many insane Krakens you get and if you get locked out of top 10. Still not really a fan of that whole situation, but I got pretty lucky this time around, so. Power scaling, summoned units will now scale based on your highest level area unit. Excellent change. Leader-based summons. To add a layer of strategy, the humans you summon will now change based on your leader. The leader will bring different reinforcements than ISB. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Just, you want to see the characters in the environment that they were made for. You know, the way this Coliseum went, to be honest, by the end of it, I didn't mind some of it. Like, in a sense, the fact that everyone was given every tag, it was kind of cool as the characters leveled. Like, it felt bad at first when the characters were low level, because the buttons just didn't fucking do anything. But it was kind of fun by the very end to have it be like, alright, I can play as Asajj, but also make Maul a disciple, so he just goes fucking nuts. But, I mean, the final product for, like, tier-rated Coliseum was, like, decently entertaining. If anything, it's, like, almost too easy, but yeah, I think that this will feel more natural. This will feel better as, like, if this is supposed to be like a, hey, here's a preview of the new set. Yeah, having characters with the people that they're meant to be with will probably feel more natural. If the leader is Rebel Fighter, summon the following units in the associated Coliseum tiers. Pow, Saw, Cintavel. Interesting that they included Pow. If the leader is ISB, some of the following units in the associated Coliseum tiers. Yeah, it's just the ISB. Some of the units will be at your highest air level rather than lowest. Yep. Hero abilities, these are currently being targeted for release during the middle of the era. Interesting. Era challenges, more ways to play will be introduced during the second era challenge. A new 4 feat system for era challenges. Each challenge tier will now feature 4 distinct feats with escalating EL requirements. Clea will only have 1 feat per tier, but the other 5 will have 4 feats. Provides a reason to revisit challenges as your squad grows. I won't lie, the current era challenges, I wouldn't say I missed the Galactic challenges, but I actually am kind of glad to see this. Clear roadmap for Cassian. To limit the moving goalpost feeling, we want to be upfront about the journey guide requirements from day 1. Requirements will be similar to Maul. Yeah, I figure. It's an increase in cost for the character. I don't know. People started running the math on what the final cost is, and it's not like when the era first came out, it looked real fucking bad. And then people started doing the math, and it's like, okay, I can see like having any price increase still feels pretty fucking bad, and I really do not want to see it move further. But if it's just like, it's basically they are applying a marquee price to the character unlock, which is not great, but it's not a deal breaker for me for this era. If there's a future era, it will probably make me second guess, to be honest. But yeah, this era is fucking cinema. I'm very excited. Yeah, it's just gonna be. Also, I mean, the fucking relic or the damage not taking system, and it does true damage. Like, low star Cassian, unironically. I mean, maybe does Cassian ever like taunts? I know he gets vulnerable. That you maybe have to be worried about that. The fact that he has so many, He might be able to just tank hits and chill. Alright, the fact that he reduces so many hits to 1 damage. Like, low star Cassian might be able to work in some respects. Marquee characters 130. I don't think they're 130, aren't they? Just straight 100. If you're willing to wait the old-fashioned way. The new tune kits look good. They look good, and the flavor is fucking excellent. Transitions and legacy. Do we have information on Maul event return? It's kind of my biggest question right now. Following the 10th anniversary pattern, units will move to shipments about a week after the era ends. Yeah, so for like the current era, I think that's one of the biggest changes that this era system is providing. For Krakens, the units will go available in 1 week from now, and the shipments will go available 2 weeks from now. So like if there's a unit that you're just like, holy fuck, I gotta get this guy, you can just save up crystals. And like 1 week after the Krakens get to use it in Grand Arena, you could just immediately have access to them. It's kind of crazy. If you are a crystal hoarder, and there are people that I've known in the past who are down to do that shit. And it's just like a character you're like, goddamn, I gotta have that. Interesting. R.I.P. Saul. I do not agree with you. I think the work that I have been doing now has never looked more important. I think I am somehow weeks of work ahead on being ready for this shit. The era system is a living. Wait, what is this? Your level conversion? Is this changing? I assume it's just the same. Oh, that is different. On a bi-week. Yeah. Once the Era of Andor concludes, these units will receive dedicated squad-based FTCs to provide extra strength in the legacy meta. Huh. I assume that just means in the Era store? Or not with the raid store. What the fuck am I doing? What am I thinking of? The store with the FTCs. Episode store. Sorry. Too many phrases. So you announcing any new Era Battle or anything for the marquees, or are those things in the past now? I don't know. I thought that they said that Era Battle would run after the era ends. Or at least I saw some people say that like they said it. That's a good question. The Era system is a living platform, while EL remains the primary driver of content mastery. These changes are designed to make the journey toward the end of an era feel more structured with less pressure. Sure. I look forward to your feedback. You were way too negative at first. I mean, the issue was that the era just there was no visible path because everything was so backloaded. Like now that we've been through one, we understand what it looks like. We know what to expect now. It was just not. It did not field the. It did not set expectations very well. It looked like impenetrable at first. Fucking A, dude. So Mon Mothma is still probably bound to Hoth Rebel Scout plus POW. I don't know if that's going away. Rebel Fighters unironically might be like a full. Is this the first 3-team toolbox just like mashup? Isolation will be less of a thing going forward. Thinking back to Athano, he wasn't usable for a long time. Yeah, but pirates were starting from scratch, so like pirates aren't a great example in my opinion. The easiest example is like if you told me, "Hey, Clea goes playable in 2 weeks," Jesus fucking Christ, like yeah, of course. So that's a huge difference with the system, right? Clea, like Darth Vader, is the least impacted in current. That is like 1 or 2 weeks later than he otherwise would have been. Clea, I'm gonna have to wait 3 months to play Clea. Would I love to play Clea this coming week? You bet your fucking yeah, of course. The system feels a lot better for you. Yeah, that's really where I'm at. Is like it's a lot more fair to people, and like, am I a cranky child who just wants to play with a toy? Sure. Can I get the fuck over it? Yes. It is what it is. It's better for the majority of the player base. I can get the fuck over it. Time will pass. She will be playable eventually. The whole idea that the character is in shipments a week after I can play it is actually kind of fucking cool. If anything, I would actually like to see the farmable become faster after it. It's more fair to you, but you still want to watch me play with it. Yeah, it is what it is. Does this house build exist? No. Or at least I assume no. I haven't tried it. Again, the builds was not. It wasn't like a beta branch with future content. It was literally a branch older than live. So, Cleo's kit is the most exciting? Probably. Certainly, Clea is like the most like what I was hoping to see. Vela is just a very good tank. Cinta Cinta's like a Cinta's like a mix of like Rose plus Mission, kind of. At least in terms of like she's assisting a lot, getting turn meter a lot. Clay is fucking crazy, man. But the ISB flavor is also extremely good. How about Clay without Luthen? I'm gonna be real with you right now. I am just going to have to like take time and sit with this and simmer on this and immerse in this. I mean, Undermine. Let's just control it through Undermine real quick. Now that we know context. Stack will always be a critical hit if able and deals the fuck ton of crit damage against undermined people. If like Undermine, which can't be dispelled, so she is a locked, for better or worse. Remove 50% TM from undermined enemies. Whenever undermined enemy inflicts Clay with a debuff, she dispels all debuffs on herself and reduces her cooldowns. Whenever Luthen uses a special, inflict the target enemy with undermine for 1 turn. It is dispellable, resistible. The leader is Sagra, Clay gains access. I mean, isn't that kind of a... So her gaining access under a Saw, but not Cassian, seems pretty deliberate, right? Wait, if the leader is on Mothma, gain Curator? I might have to ask me about that. Because this means that she wouldn't get either under Cassian, right? I mean, that could also just mean that CG expects that the 3 team to be like Cassie and Vel, so Cinta. could easily be what that means, because she doesn't gain either in 5v5. It would also be a cute nod for the 3v3 team to just be Saw, Luthen, Clea, which is how it was before Cassian came around. So her and Clea both being Axis. Fun flavor. Alright, where we're in. So without other Rebel fighters, yeah, man, this is gonna take. I'm gonna really have to just like internalize everything and then figure out how we want to split. Like Vel and Cinta might not absolutely have to go together. A Rebel fighter ally defeats an undermined enemy. All their enemies become undermined for one turn, which can't be resisted but can be dispelled. So she doesn't really help make it too much. Whenever Cinta or Vel are attacked by an undermined enemy, she gains RD whenever an undermined enemy attacks, blah blah blah. So Vel does not make it much. Cinta. So I don't think she makes it as much either. Okay. So Clay makes it a small amount that she could maybe try to get by without Cassian. But she also just has so much other utility that you aren't like throwing for not having ready access to it. Very, very interesting. I mean, target ally gains keen stratagem would in theory go to the summon under Saw Luthen. That shit would not feel bad. God damn it. Just so much power to work with here. ISB is going to be interesting. ISB is. The flavor is incredible, and there's some pretty interesting tools here. But there's a lot writing on the reworks tomorrow as well, I believe. Questions of if we're supposed to be on Partagas lead or Krennic lead, or maybe both, and you choose one based on the situation. I mean, Dedra has 50% TM and assumedly starts with what? If she goes special 2, then it's her immediate self prime, which is like decent for running your game plan, but if you're just trying to preload and stop them, not as much. I wonder if she uses this first. I mean, if she goes first, or maybe this is just an offense versus defense thing. If you got a 50% TM preload and you use special 1 first, then you basically just give the squad. I mean, if you're using it at 50% TM, I guess let's loosely call it 12.5 speed on top of Partagaz's lead. Fucking A, man. I feel like these kits were labor of love. I feel like you can really see it. Alright, man. I am cooked. I am fried. I feel like we will revisit these kits a few times. I gotta work the angles. I gotta internalize these kits a bit, and then look at Rebel Fighters as a whole, and then look at the 3 leaders as a whole. We also have to look at the Krennic IPD release tomorrow. I don't know if that'll be a stream in itself. I guess perhaps depending on what's in there. We'll see. I mean, fucking, would I prefer isolation to not exist for me to be a selfish baby? Sure. But I will enjoy even just fucking around with them in Coliseum, I think. Although it's not gonna be, we're gonna be playing with Pow, not Cassian, I guess. Not Clea. Well, Clea, I guess, will be first, so we will have Clea, but we will not have like Luthen on loan, I guess. Goddamn, dude, the Rebel Fighters just feel so. It's a lot. It is so much. I am so glad that I've been going on the arc that I've been going on, because I feel so in position to just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna do yet. I just feel like I already have explosive power, and this is just insane fuel on top. I just feel like I have a gun, and it is loaded, and I don't know who the fuck to point it at. But something is going to die. It like, you are telling me that Saul, Luthen, Drogon now just gives everyone keen stratagem to start. And I you don't it's too much. It's literally too much. This is why I'm thinking it's the 2 or 3 lead plan. You don't, that's enough power to like 3-shot somebody. I don't know, man. Like you don't need all that. It's too much. Yeah, we'll see. All right, I'm out of here for the evening. Good shit. Extremely fun stream. One of my favorite streams. What a fucking era reveal. I'm very happy. Thanks everyone for hanging out. If you made it this long, that was almost 3 hours. Good God. But hey, the food was good. All right. We will be back tomorrow with GSC, I guess. Thinking about that too. So I guess we will be talking about Krennic and IPD tomorrow. And yeah. Good luck out there. Peace out.